Do you struggle when learning a new language while on vacation? Next time, remember that somewhere in Papua New Guinea, there's probably someone who has to learn a new language to talk to their neighbors. Nestled in the southwestern Pacific, this island nation occupies the eastern half of the island of New Guinea and numerous offshore islands. With a population of about 10 million people, Papua New Guinea is home to an astounding 840 living languages. That means, on average, a different language is spoken by every 11,000 people. To put this in perspective, let's look at some comparisons. The entire continent of Europe has about 225 languages. Indonesia, the next most linguistically diverse country, has about 710 languages, and the United States, about 350 languages. But why does Papua New Guinea have so many languages? The answer lies in its geography and history. Papua New Guinea's terrain is incredibly diverse and challenging, with rugged mountain ranges having peaks over 4,500 meters high, such as Mount Wilhelm. Also, dense rainforests that cover about 75% of the country. Extensive river systems, including the mighty Sepik River, and numerous islands and coastal regions. This varied and often difficult terrain has led to the isolation of communities for thousands of years. Each isolated group developed its own unique language and culture, largely undisturbed by outside influences. The country's history also plays a role. Papua New Guinea has been inhabited for at least 50,000 years, and it wasn't until the late 19th century that European colonization began in earnest. Before European influence, this long period of Papua New Guinea's independence showcased diverse tribal groups, each with its unique language, traditions, and customs. For example, tribes such as the Enga and the Iatmul had their unique traditions and customs. The Enga were known for their fierce warriors and their elaborate rituals, while the Iatmul were known for their skilled canoe builders and their complex system of social organization. This period also saw the rise of several powerful chiefdoms, which controlled large territories and influenced the surrounding tribes. These chiefdoms often engaged in warfare with one another, but they also cooperated in times of peace to trade and build alliances. The arrival of European colonizers in the late 19th century brought with it significant changes to Papua New Guinea's traditional way of life and development. The country was divided into two distinct territories: British New Guinea in the south and German New Guinea in the north. Missionaries introduced Christianity, which quickly became a dominant religion, and European languages such as English and Tok Pisin were adopted for administration and education. Now let's go over some of these fascinating languages. With approximately 200,000 speakers, Enga holds the distinction of being the most extensively spoken indigenous language in the highlands. Its influence reverberates throughout the rugged mountain terrain, carrying the traditions and narratives of its people. The Kalam language is renowned for its remarkably compact vocabulary of approximately 200 words. Despite the limited number, its speakers combine words to express complex ideas, demonstrating the immense potential to convey intricate thoughts and emotions. Spoken on the remote Russell Island, Yeli Dani stands apart from all other languages in the region, solidifying its status as a linguistic isolate. With so many languages, how do Papua New Guineans communicate across language barriers? The answer lies in the country's official languages. English, the official language of Papua New Guinea, is primarily used in government and education. Although it is not widely spoken in rural areas, its presence in official documents, government proceedings, and educational institutions ensures that important information is accessible to a significant portion of the population. Tok Pisin is an English-based Creole language that serves as the main language in Papua New Guinea. It's a remarkable blend of English vocabulary and Melanesian grammar. Tok Pisin emerged as a means of communication during the colonial era and is now spoken by a vast majority of Papua New Guineans, transcending tribal and linguistic boundaries. It's commonly used in everyday conversations, popular media, and even in some official settings. Hirimotu, another important language in Papua New Guinea, predominantly spoken in the southern region. It originated as a trade language among the coastal communities of the Papuan Gulf. It's closely tied to the traditional trading voyages known as the Hiri trade. While Hirimotu is not as widely spoken as Tokpisin, it holds significant cultural importance for various ethnic groups in the southern part of the country. Hey, wait a second. If you want to keep learning stuff to get a bit smarter every day, we wanted to invite you to subscribe to our channel real quick and comment it down below so you get our response. Despite this incredible diversity, Papua New Guinea's languages face significant challenges. The influence of urbanization leads to the adoption of more widely spoken languages like Tokpisin or English, and globalization makes these global languages more accessible and attractive to young people. This shift away from traditional languages can have significant consequences for cultural identity, as young people may be less likely to prioritize learning and using their home languages. What's more, the education system in Papua New Guinea is primarily conducted in English, which creates a significant barrier for students who come from non-English speaking backgrounds. Also, most media outlets in Papua New Guinea operate in English or Tokpisin, which limits the visibility and representation of other indigenous languages. Experts predict that without intervention, 400 of Papua's languages could disappear this century. Efforts to preserve this unique heritage include the Summer Institute of Linguistics, SIL, which documents and analyses languages, developing writing systems for previously unwritten languages. The government supports vernacular education in early grades to foster literacy and cultural identity. Grassroots initiatives, such as language classes and workshops, promote intergenerational transmission of linguistic knowledge. Technology also plays a role with language learning apps, digital dictionaries, and online archives, facilitating language learning and revitalization. Now, we want to hear you in the comments. If you could instantly learn any language, which would it be? This is the end of the video. Hope you learned something new with us today. Please give a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel to keep getting enriched from our content and share the video with someone you know will like it.